This is Jeff Keene, Post Commander here at the VFW in Scottsville. A week or so ago, I promised all of you that play bingo here at the VFW a video showing you how our new operation is going to work when we open up this Friday night, September 25th. Now, we've been waiting just as long as you all have. It's been a long time since March. We've fielded lots of texts, lots of phone calls, and we saw you in the grocery stores and you've told us how much you want bingo back, and we're just as excited as you are to have it back. We've worked closely through our state commander with the governor's office as well as our local health department in order to make sure we're CDC compliant so that we keep you healthy and we keep us healthy. We can't put on bingo if we're sick, and you can't come if you're sick. So we want to make sure that first and foremost, we want to have fun, but before that, we want to make sure everybody stays safe and everybody stays healthy. COVID has been a thing that has been troublesome for all of us, to say the least. So we're going to have to work through that and live alongside it for the time being. So with that, I'm going to show you how our operation is going to work in here tonight. But the first thing you're going to notice when you pull up, for those of you that have played here before, is that our old building up on the hill here, which used to be our post home, and we turned it into our bingo hall back before, we've moved down to our new building. We had our VFW post here where we had our meetings and things, and according to the CDC rules, we have to keep everyone 6 feet apart. And we've developed a plan, floor plan for our tables that the health department here in Allen County has come over and looked at and have been very, very happy with. And I hope you'll feel like it keeps you safe as well. The first thing you're going to need to know, we all hate it. We've all heard it till we're blue in the face, but we've got to have a mask on. Now, we're not going to make you wear it the whole 3 hours you're here playing bingo. If you're in your seat, you can take it off. If you're standing up, moving anywhere, you have to have it on. It's basically the same rules as a restaurant. If you've been out to eat so far, you know you have to put your mask on when you come in and walk to your seat, but after you get seated, you can take it off. So, kind of the same rules apply here. You'll also notice inside the way we've got you sitting, you can't be seated within 6 feet of anybody around you. So nobody will be around you unless it's someone in your own household. You won't have to worry about that. So make sure you've got your mask on when you come to the door. Don't put us in the position where we have to ask you to put one on. Nothing ruins a good night more than a confrontation, and we don't want that. So all you got to do is put them on just till you get to your seat and get to sit down. You can take them right back off. So just cooperate with us. 5 minutes at the most is all you'll ever have to wear it if everything goes smooth. So that being said, come on in. I'll show you how it goes. Welcome to VFW Post 5712, the inside of which you may have seen if you played bingo here years ago, or if you've been to one of our community veterans programs that we have once a year. The first thing you're going to see when you come in the door is the welcome station. Right here, it'll be on your right. As you can see, there's a sneeze guard here to keep you protected and to keep us protected in case somebody sneezes. It is fall of the year. It's time when allergies kick up. And if anybody was to sneeze or cough, we don't want to get anybody sick. You'll have a questionnaire to fill out here. Now, this is a contact tracing form. If you've been to your doctor for a doctor's visit or some other appointment, you've probably filled out one of these already. Now, there's not going to be any private personal information on this. It's just going to be your name and your phone number. And now all that is just so we can keep a record of who's been here. And in the unfortunate event that somebody that's been here is tested positive for COVID, then the health department would have to be able to get a hold of you to let you know you had been around somebody that had. Just your name and phone number, the date and time of entry. There's a few questions there that we'll have to make sure you answer no to. It's just asking if you've had a fever, if you've had the symptoms of COVID the last few days. And as you're filling this out at some point in time, the greeter will reach around the sneeze guard and with a no-touch thermometer from a few inches away can take your temperature, and there's a place for you to write it down. That way there's no contact between you and them. You don't have to touch anything. If you want to bring your own ink pen, that would be great, because we're going to have to sanitize ink pens in between people. So if you want to help us save a little bit of time, bring your own ink pen. Also, we do have some masks here if anybody forgets and leaves theirs at home, but please do try to bring your own mask. We can't possibly afford to buy masks for everyone that comes to bingo every week, so please remember to bring your mask. Now if you'll look to the left, you'll see the concession stands here. Notice there's also a sneeze guard here to protect you from the staff and the staff from you. They can take your orders, hand you your food, and take your money. Underneath the sneeze guard, there's room there. We've left a few inches there to be able to do that. And anyone that's inside the kitchen working will have a mask on, as will all the staff all night. We will have a mask on, and we will have gloves on if we're in the kitchen. If they're around your food, they'll have a mask on, they'll have gloves on. We'll make sure that we do everything we can to keep you safe. Come on with me and we'll show you a few more things. Now, the first hall on the left is our restrooms. The men's is on the left, ladies is on the right. You'll notice there are also tick marks on the floor there for you to stand to stay 6 foot apart if you're waiting in line for the restroom. Our restrooms are pretty good size, but we're going to try to limit the number to a couple or so people in there at a time so nobody's bumping into each other at the sink. If you need to wait in line, please wait on those tick marks that are 6 foot apart on the floor. And if there's already 2 people in the hall, please wait out here somewhere away from everybody else so everything don't get clustered up. Now, underneath where my cameraman Chris is standing, you'll see a row of tape. Actually, there's 2 of them. Those are the lines for the concession stand. They're 6 foot apart, marks are. There's 2 separate lines there in case we get a lot of people in line. Hopefully that won't happen. We should have enough help in the kitchen that we can take care of everybody in a timely manner. But if you come to the concession stand, please get in line on the tick marks. Again, they're 6 foot apart this way and this way, trying to keep you safe and keep us within CDC compliance. I know some of you are getting tired of this, and maybe you've heard this till you're blue in the face. All of us have. But if you want to keep bingo open here in Scottsville, this is what we have to do. The health department has laid out these guidelines. It's the only way they'd let us open. So please, cooperate with us. Don't make us go around and act like a nanny and have to keep you in line. We're all adults. If you're here, you're an adult. So you can please help us out with that, and don't make it hard for us. Our ATM machine is right here in the hallway, away from everybody, so your personal PIN numbers will be protected. Nobody will be able to see your PIN numbers when you're here. If you're waiting in line for that, right here at this corner is about 6 feet. Don't get any closer to anybody when they're at the ATM than this corner right here. All right, come ahead up here. We've got our trash cans kind of sitting in the way right now, and we still do have some ladders out. We're finishing up our work on the ceiling tiles and finishing up our last little bit of our work we've had to do. You'll see a row beginning right here. Now this is your row, or your line rather, for your paper sales. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's about 16 marks between here and the front of the room where the paper sales are. The line may look long when you come in, but there's not that many people in it really. They're just so far apart. These marks are 6 foot apart. Now you don't have to pretend you're in kindergarten and stay right up against the wall, okay? You can stand here, but just stay in line with those marks to keep yourself 6 foot apart and to keep yourself safe. Come on, I'll show you the rest of it. The marks actually go through here. We're running some more TV cable, so we've got our display case sitting out on the floor, but they go right around the corner. And finally, you wind up here. This is your paper sales. On this side, it's the same table you bought your papers from over at the other building, so it'll all look familiar to you. I think David Wilkerson's usually selling those, him and Ray McDonald. One of them two will be behind the table here. You can buy your paper. There's a sneeze guard here as well, all the way around this whole area. Again, keeping you apart from everybody else. There's room for your paper, your money to go underneath. You can buy your daubers here or any of your other supplies. On this side will be where we sell our pull tabs. If you want some pull tabs before you go sit down, come over here. Now we can accommodate 2 people at a time. Notice there's 2 tick marks there, 6 foot apart. We can accommodate 2 people at the counter at a time. There's also a row of tick marks going down the front of the platform here. If you want to line up to get pull tabs, if you need to, there's a marker there for your reference, so you don't get too close to anybody else. Now over on this side, you'll see our callers table. Same one we had up there. It'll look familiar to you. The only difference is there's a sneeze guard around it. Our bingo board is up here for you to see all the numbers that's been called. We've got, I think, 8 monitors, I believe we've counted, that we have around the room, so you'll be able to see the monitors from anywhere in the room. Now you might want to notice our unusual seating patterns here. Our tables are in 3 table clusters, and they're all 6 foot apart in every direction. And the way they're lined up, and if everybody follows our rules, or not our rules, but the county health department's rules that they gave us, if you follow those rules, you'll never be seated within 6 feet of each other. Now, this is what lets you take your mask off, because we're 6 feet apart from each other, right? Now, every table has 2 chairs at it. That don't mean 2 of you can sit together. You have to live in the same household. If 2 of you come together, husband and wife, brother and sister, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, whatever, if you live in the same household, you can sit together. So 2 of you can sit here. 2 of you can sit across from each other. These will be toward the center. 2 could sit here if they're of the same household. Now, if you have a friend you'd like to come play bingo with, but maybe you don't live in the same household with them, 1 of you can sit here, another can sit here, and another can sit here. We can sit either 3 or 6 or anywhere in between, 3 to 6 at a table, just depending on how the family groups come in, whether a lot of people comes as singles or whether a lot of people comes as a family unit. It's just like it is in a restaurant or anything else that you've done for the last little bit. If it's in your same family, your same household, you can sit together. If not, you have to stay in these seats. Now these seats from here to here is 6 feet. And from here to here is 6 feet. And from here to even the closest chair on this side is 6 feet. So there's no way that you can be seated within 6 feet of somebody that's not in your household as long as we follow the rules. Now there's one thing that I would like to ask for your help, and I'll show you right here. These clusters, as I said, we've measured them to make sure that they're 6 feet apart and they stay that way. These 3 table clusters, we measured them, again, 6 foot apart everywhere. And if you look under one table leg, and it's usually in this table of the H pattern, there's a piece of tape on the floor right there. That tells us where that table leg goes. So if you get up and bump the table, and before you leave every night, would you please look down and put this table back on that leg, back on that tape, and then square these 2 up in the H pattern? And if you do that, they'll stay where they're at and we won't have to remeasure them every time. Again, we're looking forward to having you. We want to thank all of you for your asking about bingo and being excited about coming back. We're as excited to see you as you are to be here. Thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you 5 o'clock Friday night for pull tabs, 5:30 for paper sales, and 6:45 is when the first ball drops. We'll see you then.